change. So there's usually a lot of students moving around. But even in terms of, what's our response? The reunification is one of the hardest parts of any significant issue like this, whenever you have a crisis in a school. And so knowing that we had the teams ready to roll to Joppatowne to set up the reunification, we had all the, the list of students in the schools and things like that. So the reunification is a big part. So I don't know if there's more to that I didn't answer for you.
And I'll just say from the law enforcement side, we train routinely with our allied partners in the county, and sadly this isn't our first horrible event that we've had in the county. But again, to have the ability to have two police, not only an SRO in the school, but the initial responding deputy there within 2 minutes, and over 100 police officers, because of the great policing that is here in our county and our surrounding jurisdictions, which responded with our state and federal partners, to have over 100 police officers on the scene. Very thankful that this was not an active shooter incident, but it showed our response as if it was one is ready, and I pray we never have to test that system.
Sheriff, do you know how many times this victim was shot and where, and how many did he recovered any ballistics? How many times his gun was fired?
I do know that we do believe just one round was fired, which struck from the suspect that struck the victim. I do not know as far as what has been recovered.
Can you go into more detail about the community's assistance in capturing the suspect?
There were calls back to 911 center, which is the county answering point for 911 calls. So there were calls into the center indicating that this person was over near the school in the community banging on doors, and that response over there is what led to his being quickly brought into custody.
Sheriff, given what happened in Georgia just a few days ago, what's your message to the men and women that showed up that got this under control quickly?
Oh, I couldn't be more proud, and I get to say that routinely, that about the men and women of not just the sheriff's office, but of our partners. We are blessed here in Harford County. We are blessed in our surrounding jurisdictions to have police officers who are well trained, who are ready to go in and attack a threat. We saw in Parkland, sadly, years ago, what it cost not to respond indirectly. And I listened to the radio traffic, as many people here behind, as this event was unfolding, and just the professionalism of how they set up incident command, unified command with our public safety partners at DES, fire, and EMS. It just, the system worked, and it worked in this instance. The sad part is that we're discussing a school shooting at all.
Sir, I know it was a juvenile, you haven't had a chance to talk, but since you know who he is, does he have a juvenile record that you can speak to?
I don't know. I know that he's not unknown to us, but I don't know whether that means he has a juvenile record or just we've had calls for service that have involved him in the past. I do know that. Anybody, anything else?
What's your message to parents moving forward, whether you or the superintendent? There's a lot of tense moments, a lot of trauma today. Just what's your message to those people in that school community?
Well, from the sheriff's office standpoint, I'd like the message to be that we're going to do our very best to keep our students safe in schools. It's a shame that we have supported some legislation in the past that hasn't. This is from my personal opinion, that hasn't worked to make our schools safe, hasn't been passed that would have, in my opinion, worked to make the schools safer. But we're ready to respond in times of need. But we need parents to know what these young people are doing. And we all have the question, why is a 16-year-old, just as the case, the person in Georgia was 14 or 15, and his dad just was charged for allowing him access or having that weapon. What is the deal with this? That's something the investigators will be looking at. How did he get his hands on this gun? But that is where the problem lies, and we're going to continue to do our very best to keep our community safe by following those leads out to the end. But we need parents to actually be parents in many situations and know what their children are up to.
Just going back when you said there was previous calls for service, can you elaborate on the nature of those? School or home?
It did not involve the school as far as I know, but I just know just a very little bit about it, so I don't feel comfortable just that he was not unknown to us. Dr. Bowles, you want to answer?
From my perspective, I know there's going to be many questions from our community. People will want to process this, and they'll be looking to help us find even better solutions for safety. So we will by next week be putting out, a schedule of times when people can engage with us, how they might be able to engage with us to work through processing what happened. And I would ask people just keep an eye on the messaging that we're sending out. We send a lot of information out for parents, but also for the entire community. And we'd ask that the people engage with us in that. We'll be sure to reach out and process this with them, because I know there will be a lot of questions.
And with that, we're going to wrap it up. I do want to again thank all of our first responders who did such a great job today, didn't hesitate when response was needed. And also our community, I know that when you're responding and you hear that there was a shooting in your son or daughter's school, and you're responding and you're trying to be reunified, there were a couple times where tensions got high and people got impatient. And I think through the school system, with DES and ourselves, we did our best to facilitate that, and appreciate the community's support and cooperation as this process is ongoing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hanging by a thread.
I'm only going over there to see if maybe if you need to read it, let me know. Hey Joe, you know what? I'll grab my bag out of your car. Are we doing any more briefings today? We may. It's up in the air.
I think I believe so.
Appreciate the mic stand.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, thank you.
I gotta look for.
I just need the time to sit back.
Okay. We can roll forward again. Yeah. You want to review it here?
forward to it. Yeah. Do you want me to go over here? Yeah.
Might be easier if I load it up on a laptop.
Are you guys going to be around for a while? Yes. Okay, we might be getting back within about an hour. We'll try to keep you apprised.
We might be doing another sound here, an update in an hour. Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. It'll be on our social media.
Yeah. Cool. Appreciate it.
I'm going to wait for the siren.
Wherever we just started at. Back to the wall.
14:59.
Is where we started.
Might be a little rough, but they can talk.
14:59.
Yes. That's the time total I'm here, and my DJ can put it. But it'll be approximately.
So that's where my question is.
So they will
I'm hearing your question because this one is really
Big plate over there.
probably not. They might do it on mobile. They might be able to boost it. But on my end, it would be okay. And it'd be 1459. That's where you would start out.
What's the outfit?
The output, well, I stopped at 50.
Where the gentleman went from high schools, people took Dr. Halsey back home.
They'll be all right.
Who's it? Anything else?
No. I am for the 4 and 5. The Katrina's not in there.
Hey, couple things. First, Robbie just said they made a question. Second, you know this high school? You got Mike Douglas